All right, welcome everybody. I'm so happy to have us together again on our Zoomcast Process and Practice. I have the great privilege to be sitting here with Hope Tian. Hope is a self-taught oil painter, born and raised in Beijing, China. She came to US to attend graduate school in New York and now resides in the greater Boston area. Hope has developed her own style, distinctly rooted in French impressionism. A keen interest in master painters has influenced her brush work, color, and technique. When looking at her work, you can clearly see her influences from art, from travel, and from life. Art in its purest form elicits thoughts and deep feelings. What Hope perceives through her eyes, to her heart, gives back through her paintings. And I am so glad to have you here for our conversation with everybody. And so welcome and thank you so much for being here. So Hope, let's talk a little bit. One of the things that we try to do in these conversations is sort of say, reflect upon the crazy year that we've had as artists, designers, and artist educators. And I think people, I know I want to sort of understand where your process or practice and how you've approached your painting may have been slightly different, or what challenges you've seen over the last year and how you've or done that. And you may not have been affected at all, but if you have, and that's interesting too. So if you could just talk a little bit about the last year and sort of how your work has either changed or had to react to the events of the past 12 months.
Sure. Yeah. First of all, thank you, Kurt. Thank you for this introduction, and thank you having me here. The past year is really tough for everyone, and it's really took me a while actually to adapt this we call the new normal, living conditions. At the beginning, actually, I thought it won't take long. I just thought maybe it's over soon. And then gradually, all this inconvenience about on daily life, we cannot go anywhere. We pretty much trapped in the box. And also my cancellation, I supposed to have exhibition in last July has been canceled. And also my trips to China, to France has been canceled. So, and at this point, really stress, of all this uncertainty kicked in. And I started actually, I just worried and I didn't paint for a while. And then I started doing this meditation and meditating a lot. And during the meditation, it really helped me calm me down. But also, it's the interesting thing is I found out that the meditation helped me to explore kind of new possibilities on my color palette. I give examples. Just one day when I sit there, close my eyes and the quiet, peaceful music was on. And then suddenly I feel the stress inside here just floating to my head. And all of a sudden, all this color, like bloody red and dark purple, all this, and also some like undefined images. And I was sitting there, but after that, I straight went to my studio. I have a home-based studio. And I started paint. And it came out this color. That's not my color. Bloody red and very dark purple. It's not my color. And then I just started painting and I found out that the other side of me can be explored. This is a very interesting experience. Also, for other things, I think I also, I take like a daily walk a lot. And during my daily walk, I remember one day when I walked along, I took a long walk. And then, the sunshine was shining on me, blue sky. as beautiful as before the pandemic. And the clouds, all this beautiful, beautiful nature around me. And I just feel like I just thought how many people out there has the same feeling. We wrapped, we surrounded by this beautiful nature. But inside us, we feel hopeless. We feel somehow like longing, you know?
Mhm.
And after that, I come back after the walk, I came back home and I started painting. I still use the same, normally my color palette is a warm tone and very warm, like bright colors.
Mhm.
I still use the same tone, same colors, but that painting, after I finished, I can see, and the painting speaks to me, the loneliness. And also, a part of it still a hope for the future.
Mhm.
So, my thoughts go from here to there.
Right.
And this gave me the kind of new perspective because I always like, you see my work influenced by the Impressionist great masters and Impressionist or post-Impressionist. When I saw their work, they always kind of like, when I'm thinking, always thinking the moment when the great master to create their work to cut the beauty of the nature on their canvas, they must feel like joy, full of joy, or just peace.
Mhm.
But that day, I suddenly feel like maybe they feel lonely too,
Mhm.
you know. And I called it bright loneliness. This is kind of like a new perspective for me to see the art. And so that is interesting. And also the big influence for me, normally
Mhm.
I'm not on the social media often, just I know. So we always say lonely time for us, for the artists, is for us to create, to rethink, to reflect. But that day after that, I feel like I have the urge to interact with people, even though we can't, like I can't go to see the people who I used to see, to
Mhm.
visit my friends. But I just, I had urge to interact with people, other people. And I want to know if we have the same resonations about the feeling, about the pandemic, the influence, the impact on us. So I started the LinkedIn. That's the meet artist. I started on the 16th meet artist, the Zoom call. That came from uh, that period of time.
Okay.
Yes.
So so I would ask a little bit about, so do you feel like during this period of time, it sounds like you've gone to another sort of level in your painting, in the sense of, do you believe there's more depth in what you're painting, more meaning, or how do you feel a little bit about that? It certainly sounds like that there are uh, I guess, feelings that are maybe stronger, maybe depth isn't the best way to talk about it, but definitely maybe a stronger set of feelings that are behind the painting now than before the pandemic.
I think so. I think it's definitely depth or maybe the multi layers.
Hmm.
When we see things, like we like things, something like happy sounds, we just feel like the feeling of happy, you
Hmm.
know but maybe you can just peel off the appearance, the
Hmm.
layer, you see the depth and give you different perspective of about the same thing.
So in the work that I've seen, there's definitely been um, a long period of time where you were sort of, French Impressionism, but sort of a more realistic expression of the image, right? The detail there. Um, and then I've seen some of the work that you've done that you have talked about that sort of almost starts to go into an abstract realm. Do you recognize that? Does that seem to make sense to you? Do you feel like you might explore the abstract a little bit more
That's
during this?
it. Exactly. I mean, that's exactly. I didn't, at the moment, I didn't think, I didn't think what style it is or something.
Mhm.
But when I looked back, and Kurt, this is the painting I told you about.
Oh, wow.
This is not not my usual color.
Right, right.
And then this is the image. And after that, I know this is full of emotion and maybe sets some part of my inner voice free,
Mhm.
you know? And then that goes to, you can call it abstract or more freedom,
Well,
that's
highly expressive, I think is what we can call it, right? I
very,
mean,
right,
definitely
right.
much more expressive
Yeah.
than some of the other work. So, I mean, I think it's amazing that you've been able to tap into that. I think it's an interesting lesson for those who might be hearing about this in the sense of you've allowed yourself to go in that direction just based on listening to you and our conversations before. I have to say, just admire your lack of fear in going in that
Thank you.
direction, which, I think, any artist, if they can get to a point where they're fearless, is a pretty powerful thing. So I don't know how you feel about it, but at least that's my reaction to it, is that you sort of, you might be tentative or had been in the beginning, but you've definitely given into to that side and are willing to explore it, which I think is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly what I was, that's why when I think about it, after I painted this,
Mhm.
and I thought about, how to, for being an artist, how to switch our, frustration or emotion
Mhm.
into a creative.
Right.
You know, that's the power for
Yeah.
being an artist. And also be the best part of being the artist too is we can, on our canvas, we can be whoever we like to be, and then we can express whatever inside our heart. So I express on our canvas.
Mhm.
And so just be more creative. Yeah.
So any thoughts about where you might be headed creatively as we approach hopefully some loosening of things and ability to sort of, won't call it normal, but I think a major progress probably over the summer towards back what we sort of have known before. Any thoughts about where you think you might be going creatively as things loosen up, or you haven't quite gotten there yet?
I actually constantly thinking about when this over,
Yeah.
when this over, what I gonna do. I mean, for me, the lesson I learned is no matter the more difficult time like this, like dark time, like during the pandemic, be more proactive. You never know what's your ability you can achieve. And after this is done, I'm definitely I know I learn more appreciation. So I would definitely go to travel. Normally, when I like to travel, to go to international travel or
Mhm.
domestic travel and see the beauty. But deep inside, I never thought how, how lucky, how blessed I was.
Mhm.
And then this is a kind of new for me, appreciate what we have now, and then just let spirit take me, and maybe more, like free to express myself.
Mhm.
And I like landscape, and also I like to try all different things.
Mhm.
And you see my wall. I mean, I cannot see. I started painting because just just paint colors or whatever you feels like, and then just appreciate the life
Mhm.
at the moment.
All right. Well, I think we'll let that be the last word, a good way to end. So thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, Hope. And so very much appreciate you being able to spend the time with us today. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to share my thoughts in your community. Also, thank you, really for your generous offer to be here. And that's my great honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.